Good morning. It's Valentine's Day in Central Texas, and I thought I would take you along as I do a couple of pre-spring chores. First thing I have is weeds are coming up everywhere, and so I am pulling weeds like crazy. I am pruning my roses. I am a little late on that. I have buds coming all over, so I'm going to do a light pruning on my roses. I am going to propagate a fig stem. I got a wonderful big branch off of a friend's fig tree, and we're going to pot some up and get them growing. And I'm also going to show you the progress of my tulips and my daffodils. Everything looks fabulous out here. So come on along and let's see what's happening. And another big thing to show you is rain barrels. We had such a terrible drought last summer that we've decided to put in two 50-gallon rain barrels. We had a lot of rain over the last week, and I was able to fill those up in about an hour, so it's been great. So you might ask, there's so much to do. Where do you start? Well, I always try to start right at my front entrance. This is where it gets the most traffic. People really notice. I notice. So thought I'd bring you over here and show you some things that I really need to tackle first. Right here is a salvia, and it definitely is ready for its trim. And you can see all of the new salvia growth down here. So I need to get that clipped off ASAP. And right over here, I have a lot of weeds. This is henbit, and I just take my little weeder. Since we have had some rain recently, these things just pop up easily. And you really want to try to get all the root when you can. And a lot of these, they just pull right up easily. So the quicker you can get out and start pulling weeds right after a rain, the better. They just come right up out of the ground. You get them roots and all. So I'm going to be doing a lot of weed pulling. You can see there's weeds everywhere in all the cracks. So that'll keep me busy for a while. And trimming back, here's another salvia with a lot of new growth at the bottom. And my coneflower, let's get around there. This coneflower is definitely dead, but what I'll do is take the seed heads and just scatter them, and I'll have more coneflower. This was a really pretty purple one, and I think I'll also plant some up in my water jugs using my water jug method. Now, coneflower needs a period of cold before they will germinate. So when I pot them up in the milk jug, I will put them in the refrigerator I happen to have an outside refrigerator. I'll put them in there for 4 weeks and then bring them out, and I will get lots and lots of gorgeous coneflower starts. Set my table up right here in front of my daffodils. Aren't they beautiful? I have really enjoyed them. They came up about 2 weeks ago, and they are just delightful. So a really fun thing to do as a gardener is to propagate plants. And today I'm going to show you how to propagate a fig. So this was from my neighbor's fig tree, and I have been envious of that beautiful fig tree. Well, I'm going to get one here. I took a cutting off of her tree with her permission, and I'm going to show you exactly what to do. So you may be asking, well, what kinds of things can I propagate easily? Well, easily, you can do figs, crepe myrtle, you can do vitex, and you can do lantana. And you can probably do anything out in the garden, but those are the 4 things that are the easiest. And some things that you are going to need. First of all, you're going to need some 4-inch or you can use plastic cups, whatever you have, as long as you've drilled some drainage holes. So I have these 4-inch little plastic containers, and you reuse these over and over and over, and you can keep that tray that you get from the garden center because that helps you move things around. You're going to need labels. So I use a knife to just, I happen to have these plastic knives, and just write on there. As long as it's white or silver, you can write on that. You're going to need some rooting hormone, and I like to pour a little bit into another container so I don't contaminate my original container. And you're going to need a pair of snips. You're going to need a sharp knife, and you're going to need some soil. And this has been hydrated earlier today, so it's nice and wet, but not too wet. All right, let's get started. So I like to wear gloves, and you'll just fill each of these containers up with your potting soil, preferably no fertilizer in this potting soil. And you pack them down, not too much, but you want to get all the air bubbles out. And you're just going to get each one filled up. Next, you'll look carefully at your fig branch, and you're going to look for all of the nodes that you can find. And this fig branch is just covered with little nodes where buds would be popping out soon. And those will eventually become roots in this new situation here. So you will cut in between each of the nodes. And there's one there and there. You see they're all the way down. So I'm going to be able to get quite a few little sticks out of this branch. So take your snips and just go right above the little nodules. There's one. I'm just kind of going right between them. There you go. Looks like I have about 9. Then you're going to take your sharp knife, let me get closer here, and you're going to, right above that node, you're going to gently remove a very thin layer. This is the cambium layer, and you go all the way around like you're peeling a potato, and that will allow the roots to develop a little quicker. Then you're going to take your rooting hormone and dip it in, shake that off, and you are just going to come around and plunge it in. Now you really want to make a hole first so you don't lose all that hormone you just put on there. So I take something called a dibber or a stick and make my hole, and then gently place that in and press down the soil really firmly. You can see that the node needs to go down under the soil level too. So both the node and that cambium all go down underneath the soil, and press down nice and hard. And then I'll do all the rest of them. So I had enough of the fig sticks to make 9 little starts, and they are going to sit in the shade for 3 to 4 weeks until I start seeing some new growth come out of the tops of these little starts. And when you see new growth coming out of the top, that tells you that you've got roots growing down below. So again, I'll keep these in the shade. If we get any really, really cold nights, I might bring them in the garage for the night. So maybe April or May, I will have some little fig plants ready to plant in my garden. I will keep showing you their progress. So while we're over in the back side of the house, I thought I'd show you our new rain barrel. This is a 50-gallon barrel, and let me get a little closer. So this one we picked up at Tractor Supply, and it has several features. Number one, it's made of plastic, so it's very durable. It will last out here forever. I like the aesthetic. It looks like, an old rain barrel, so it's not too unattractive back here. We cut off our rain gutter right about, it's about 3 feet above the rain barrel. And then we attached this flexible hose right here. It has this neat little plastic thing that fits right on the gutter. And it just sits right above the barrel. There is a nice piece of mesh which allows the water to go in and keeps the mosquitoes out, which is very nice. And it's got a flat back so that it scooches up close to the house, which is really nice. We set it on top of 2 cinder block so we could raise it up a little bit. And then it comes with this spigot, and we bought this little 6-foot hose so I can easily fill up my water buckets as I go water the plants during our droughts that we've been having. So right in front of the rain barrel, I have been working on my roses, clipping them down. So on Valentine's Day is a good day to start doing some trimming. So these are knockout roses, so they don't really require a lot of in-depth trimming, but I did kind of get in there and cut off. I noticed there was a lot of black spots, so I'm hoping these roses are going to be okay. After I finished trimming them, I sprayed them diligently with neem oil, which is supposed to help with black spots. So I'll keep you informed on how they do. And right in front, of course, we have the daffodils. Aren't they pretty? And the daffodils will naturalize, and they will just spread and fill out more. And every spring, they will just be the first thing to pop up and show their pretty yellow heads. And they'll be a lot fuller. Every spring, they'll just fill out more and more. And you can dig them up and share them or move them to other parts of your property. You've got to get some daffodil bulbs if you haven't already. I'll show you the daffodils on the other side of the little walkway are just as pretty. They've been up for about 2 weeks, and they made it through. We had a couple of days of rain, and they just kept standing. I just knew that rain was going to knock them down, but it didn't. Now, a freeze would definitely have caused them damage, but they came up just after the freeze, thank goodness. And if we come on this side of the walkway, you can see where I've been pulling weeds. There's a big pile of weeds I've pulled out. I've managed to clear out all the weeds here, and then I have a new fall aster that's going to be a nice big bush with purple flowers on it. And this is liriope. Look, I've cleaned out all the weeds. Yay for me. I still have weeds on the walkway, but everything inside of here is pretty well cleaned out. And this is full of weeds, this bag. But I still have the second half to go, which I will keep on working on. And I have a lot of new plants in here. I have some more fall asters, and I have rock rose. As we walk down this little pathway, I was going to show you, I have some annuals, these pansies here. I got these on a deep discount at Lowe's, and they were looking pretty straggly, but I've popped them in here in these 2 pots, and I gave them a nice drink of Miracle Grow, and that usually perks them up, and they start really putting out a nice bushy pansy. So I think that will look really nice in here for spring. And here I have some ornamental kale that I saved right before the freeze. I pulled them out of the ground and put them in this pot, and now they're ready to go back out into the garden. I might tuck them into these pots, or I might put them back here with the pansies, excuse me, with the tulips. We'll see. As we keep going, you can see I still have lots of weeds. Here I have lamb's ear, and this was new last year. This is a perennial, and if you can see, it is getting all these little pups here. And so I can easily dig these up and move them to continue on down this area where there's kind of nothing growing. So I can have lamb's ear all the way down, and my nice leopard plant, I cleared out all of the dead underneath it, and it is just going to town. It's ready for spring. So this is leopard plant or legularia, and these leaves get bigger than your hand. They are so pretty. And then my Turk's cap, I need to get this all trimmed down really quickly because it's going to start shooting up new growth very soon. And this is all shade plants here. Everything here has to be in the shade or it will be very unhappy. And I want to show you my tulips. Go over the bridge and back here. Here they are. They are about 6 inches tall now. I can show you with my hand. And there are these, the tallest are the ones that bloom first. I would suspect that these are the late bloomers, and then we have the mid bloomers. So when you buy them, it's a good idea to look at the labels and see how long it takes them to bloom. So I wanted to get all 3 varieties so that I could have a profusion of pretty tulips all for as long as I possibly could in the start of spring. And then I will set up a pretty table back here and have girlfriends over, grandkids over, and we will have just tulip fun. I also put some pansies out here and gave them some Miracle Grow. So these will look really good in the next couple of weeks. You can see I have to keep everything protected from the squirrels. So I wanted to show you an update inside one of the jugs. Black-eyed Susan, full of babies. And that has only been about 5 days. I am so excited. There isn't anything in any of the others, but the Black-eyed Susans are taking off. So on the other side of the house, I have the other rain barrel. This is the exact copy of the one I just showed you. And so we have 2 now, 2 50-gallons. And, it's going to just be a drop in the bucket if we have a severe drought and I can't water much, but at least it's something. And, I see people with those 100 and 1,000-gallon rain barrels. But for us right now, this is fine. So my question for all of you out there is, do any of you enjoy propagating? Have you propagated anything? And let us know if you have and what was your success and how you did it. And if you could improve on what I showed you today. So please let me know. I think everybody that watches my channel would love to find out what is the best way to get things to grow. I know we need patience. This isn't a quick type of growing, but at least we can fill our gardens, especially if you have a garden as big as mine. So it's definitely expensive to go out and buy 15 of something to fill up your garden, and propagating is definitely a wonderful way to do that with very little expense. So please let us know if you've been successful or if you might want to try this. All right, so thank you again for stopping by today. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you have something fun to do today with somebody you love. And I will talk to you again very soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.